All right, so a lot of times we see people celebrate their wins. They highlight those wins in their lives and they share those wins with other people. And they say they do that because they want to provide encouragement to other people to let them know that you can do this as well. And I think that's important. That's really important. Also, what's important, in my opinion, is sharing the losses as well, because that shows the real life deal that goes with any type of business, whether that's investing in your own business or another business. There will always be times that you're losing. I know you hear the song, "All I Do Is Win." Maybe after you get to a certain point, but in life, in the life that I live, it's filled with wins and it's filled with losses. So in this video today, I'll share with you an over $40,000 loss that I've taken in my business over the last 2 months. That's January and February. And the reason why I want to do this is because I want you to be able to see what happens when this type of loss takes place. Because when we look at it, we have to take a look at our strategy and we have to decide whether it's a time to change that strategy moving forward, or will you stay the course? Now, a big part of managing a business, the responsibility that comes with being a CEO, is deciding how are you going to allocate the funds, the profits that come into the business. That is your responsibility. Now, how we manage the funds that come into our business is 40% of our profits, 35 to 40% of the profits go toward investing in other businesses. That money immediately comes out of the business and it goes into the stock market every month without fail. 40%, 35 to 40%. Now, you may ask the question, why would a person take 35 to 40% of the money out of the business to invest in another business? Well, because I live in a world of reality and I understand my business. I know my business. And what I know about my business is that there's a very high likelihood that it will not outlast, will not outperform Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, or Google. It's a very high likelihood that's not going to happen. So what I am going to do as a business owner is make the best decision for myself and the business long term. As a CEO, I don't get emotionally tied into, oh, this is my baby because it's my business. I'm going to put most of the money or all of the money back into the business. I do what makes common sense with my money. Where am I going to get the best return on my money? What it boils down to me when it comes down to managing the money of a business is, how do you get a return on your investment? What is the best return on your investment you can get? What type of risk you have to take for that return? And are you comfortable with those risks? Can you sleep at night after having taken those risks? I'm very comfortable in the way that I invest my money when it comes down to my business. I believe that it's more important right now for me to take money and put in other businesses to grow my wealth than it would be to put all of that money back into my business, because I understand where I'm going long term. When you understand what your plan is, you follow the plan, follow the playbook if you believe in it. And then it'll take you to where it is that you want to go. But now, of course, there are going to be some times where you get off path. You have to guide yourself back on and keep moving forward. Have confidence in the plan that you have for yourself and your business. But now, it's one thing to say you have confidence and say you believe in your strategy, but when you're losing $40,000 just after a couple of months, then sometimes some people would say, hey man, I got to relook this thing. This can't be the right way I'm going in if I've lost $40,000 after just a couple of months. We still have a whole 10 months before the year is over, and I've already lost 40,000, so I'm going in the wrong direction. Or am I going in the wrong direction? So now here's a confession. I don't want to make it seem as if I know without any doubt in my mind that my plan will most certainly work, because I don't know that. I don't think anybody knows for certain if their plan will work or not. If it were the case, we knew the plan would work, we'll just all go with the same plan. That's just not how it works, though. We have to try different things and see what is the best route for you to go. Now, what I've decided to do is to invest most of my money into the stock market, most of my money into businesses. And I do that all the time, whether those businesses are high or whether those businesses are sold at a discount. I'm buying all the time. So how I look at it is this: when the stock market goes up, I'm not going to buy as many companies because the value of those stocks, the value of those businesses are higher. But when it goes down, I'm going to buy even more of those businesses, more companies, because now the stock is valued at much less. Some people get this panic button that they press when the market starts to go down. I actually look at it in the reverse. That's a great thing for me. I'm only 48 years old right now. I have until 62 years old before I'm going to start looking at, even thinking about, taking money from this account. So I have a long period of time for it to fall and recover, and keep going higher and higher. So that's what I believe. That's my strategy. Again, that doesn't mean that it's going to work out that way, but we also can take a look at the strategy that you have and take a look at that strategy in history and how it's performed. What has been the results of it? What type of ROI has that particular strategy returned over time in history? Now, I get it. We cannot say that just because it performed that way in history, that it'll perform that way now. But it does give you a history to evaluate. So what I'm doing, I'm very comfortable with it right now. I'm not concerned at all that the market is tanking right now. We've had some issues that have been going on. You saw that inflation has been a big problem. Now, Russia has invaded Ukraine. That's going to cause further friction in the market. So I'm okay with that. I understand that. So even though I've lost 40,000 in the last 2 months, that's all right, because what I see is that now I have opportunities to buy more and more of what I've been buying, but now I'm buying it at a much better value. So I'm okay with that. So I think it's about making sure that you're comfortable with your strategy. Again, you can sleep at night. You can still live your life and go on and do the things that you need to do without being overly concerned about your money, about your investments. I am not really at all concerned with what happens in the short term. To me, the short term is just a whole lot of disruptions, a whole lot of what happens on a day in and day out basis when you're invested in the stock market. I know there's a lot of noise. I don't pay attention to the noise. When things happen, I take a look at it, I notice that it's happened, and then I decide how much more money I'm getting ready to put into the stock market, because I believe in what it is that I'm doing. I believe that my plan will work out, and it will work out for the long term. I am a long-term investor. When I buy a stock or I buy a mutual fund, I have no intention of selling it until probably 15 or 20 years later, if I sell it then. And why do I have so much confidence in putting my money in the stock market? Why am I not afraid? Why do I not think that I'm going to lose all of my money? Because the stock market has been around for a very long time. It goes up and it goes down. And if you stay with it, usually the history says that you'll fare pretty well. So I believe in that. I see the history. I see what it's done over a long period of time. I see the returns that have happened. I see how many times it goes down, 10% or more. I can see all of the historical data, and I'm very comfortable with that. And when at the end of the day, when I look at it, there's no better place. There's no better place for me to put my money. And for those of you who say, there's no way I'll put my money in the stock market, I don't know what would go on with the stock market. I understand that. If that's how you feel, then play it safe. Stay on the sidelines. But there's definitely a consequence for doing so. How I look at it, if the market flips, if it turns upside down and it doesn't come back, then America as we know it is over. And who needs money anyway at that time? That's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope this information has been helpful. If you want to learn more about how you can go from $0 to $30,000 per month, I'll leave a free video right here. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.